Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. All right. Are we here? We're here. I hope you're here. Elaine Marolakos Edelson with AstrologyMojo. I want to help you get your mojo back. Are you a Mojo Mystic? Please say yes. Just say yes. Well, new moon in Capricorn. The first new moon of the year of 2021. What are we going to do with that energy? Well, we're going to build. We're going to have to break down a few structures. All right. We're talking about Mars conjuncting Uranus this week for each of the signs, sun, rising, and moon signs. I was like scrambling, taking so many notes today because I have a lot to get into. So come say hello to me. And if you don't know what I talk about is essential to your vibrational well-being. It is about moving your energy, utilizing astrology, yes, spiritual concepts, yes, tried and true methods, yes, neurological training, yes, all these things to help you feel empowered. And when you feel empowered, you create a vibration that gets stuff done, that elevates the people around you, but you cannot change anyone. You cannot change someone's beliefs. You can be who you are, the best of who you are, in as many moments as possible. And then from there, you lead by example. This is where we're going as a Mojo Mystic. Do you understand? Yeah. So again, if you don't know me, the planets in astrology do not do anything to you. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos, so that when the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, that's reflected by way of aspects and angles in astrology. So basically, astrology tells you what time it is. And in that time, in that moment, wait, let me put on my watch. What time is it? It's time to get a new battery. It's 25 minutes to Aquarius. Well, isn't that interesting? Because we're going to be talking about Uranus, and that's the planet that guides Aquarius energy. So when you make a move in the world, 95% of your motivation is unconscious. That has been proven. 5% is conscious. So now what we're doing is we're getting to know the unconscious part so that we don't have sudden traumatic events, because every part of you is creating a stream of energy, and that energy is sent out into the world and suddenly makes stuff happen. And every time you think a thought and you think it repeatedly, that thought becomes a belief, and that belief becomes a wave of energy. That vibration then brings to you what you are manifesting and things that you weren't wanting to manifest because you've been thinking about them. And then suddenly you say, see, told ya, validated. Okay, so we have to break that chain, and Uranus is a planet that is perfect for breaking chains. What I like to say is Uranus is the one, the energy that created the slave and then the bolt cutter simultaneously. So if you feel like you're ready to move into a place that is much more compassionate, that is much more productive in the world to help raise the level of vibration on this planet, because that's what's happening. But first, we look at all the stuff, the getting ready to rumble versus the inspiration, and then we talk about it. And we go, oh my gosh, did you see what happened at the Capitol? On the Capitol steps yesterday, 3 days ago, last week, a month ago. Remember 6 months ago when people rebelled? Remember when this? Okay, we need to stop regurgitating the stuff that we've already seen happen because it's been lying in wait, waiting to just explode. So when I say that Mars is conjunct Uranus this month, especially between the January 19th and January 21, I'm not saying that the planets are getting together and shooting arrows at people and making them do something. No, no, no. What I'm saying is we're looking at the collective energy that is breaking free from the chains that bind. Now, internally, if you are 51% harmless, and you know that about yourself, and I need to cut my bangs again. If you are 51% harmless, then you already know that it's up to you to start envisioning something a little more powerful than, did you see what happened on the news yesterday? Isn't it horrible? Yes, it's horrible. Yes, we say prayers, we send light. Now we change our mind and our mindset. We are not just the watchers anymore. If you're a Mojo Mystic, you're moving your energy to the best of your ability in the moment that it's happening. Now, for the end result of a higher level of vibration on this planet. But that's why we are here. That's what we have chosen. Now, some people have not woken up yet, or the vibe that they are creating is based on old beliefs that have left them feeling powerless. And so then frustration reigns and rules. And suddenly it's not so, doesn't feel so good. So if you are someone who suddenly, someone lashed out at you, someone took advantage of you, you screamed in your head, screw it, I'm just going to do this. Screw it. They're not helping me. Okay, so if you've got this kind of vibe going on, you're living in 3D victim reality. And the universe is asking you, would you like to come along for a happier ride? Come on, say yes. Just say yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hey, Gamble. I don't have it in front of me. Gamble made me a constellation elf. I have to show you guys. Hey, Dean, are you on a call? It's in the living room so I can look at it every day. Gallet, Grand Rising, Elaine, it's happening. Yes, it is. It's all happening. Elizabeth, good morning. Vicky, so glad you're here. All right, so what are we going to do with this energy? With Mars, the planet that represents aggression on the downside, aggression, war, weaponry, rage. On the upside, it's sports, athletics, sex, healthy sex, spontaneous ideas, thoughts, creativity, championing those less fortunate, childlike feelings. On the downside, it's childish temper tantrums and reasoning. On the upside, it's motion, your momentum, your action. In the sign of Taurus. Uranus, and that is the correct pronunciation. Uranus, Urano, is a Greek word, means cosmos. And Uranus on the downside represents rebellion, erraticism, erratic behavior, just anarchy. On the upside, it's vibrational healing, technology, space, excuse me, the final frontier. It also represents your ability to use nanotechnology, vibrational healing methods, meditation, NET, NAET, alpha biotics, massage, laser feedback. There's so many versions of what you can do to help yourself heal, to move the electrical currents in your body, to create a stream of energy that heals the cells, brings them back to a reset. Your cells already know what to do. And then you eat crappy food, you think crappy thoughts, long enough to create a belief, long enough for it to be validated, because whatever you put out comes back. See, told you. And then you get stuck in a loop. Well, Uranus is an energy that breaks those binds, that tie. And so does Mars. Now, the two of them are going to be holding hands all month, but within 8 degrees, exact conjunction, the week of the 17th of March. We're just days away. Now, we already know here in America, And if you're elsewhere in the world, you've heard the news that there are insurgents. There are people who are going to storm the castle in every state. So we're not propagating the fear. We're not going to talk about who's right or wrong. This is not about an agenda for a political party. What we're talking about is moving energy to help yourself deflect and also help yourself transmit your contribution. So what's your contribution? It can be very simple. Keep it light. Keep it non-agenda. It's not like, well, we're going to show those rebellious Nazis. No. If you create a vibe that is the opposing force, it's the same energy. So we don't want to do that. My hair is flyaway today. Excuse me. This is my cup from France that I got when I was 18. So we're looking at moving energy in a way that helps to alter your vibrational transmission. I know, it sounds like science fiction. Oh, did I mention? Uranus represents science fiction. And astrology. And the planets do not make you do anything. So if you're just tuning in, listening to a replay, have never heard me before, I'm just going to make it very clear. When I'm talking about Mars, I'm talking about the part of you that is ready to take action in your life. When I'm talking about Uranus, I'm talking about the part of you that is ready to use technology, science, medicine, new techniques, vibrational healing, meditation, astrology, to help you become empowered, to free your mind. A mantra literally means to free your mind. You have an internal guru, 2 words, gu and ru, destroyer of darkness. That's you. What do you want to do with that? Well, I'm going to talk to each of the sun, rising, and moon signs today. Let's get right to it. And I was flipping some of Yasmin Boland's moon cards, and a bunch just flew out at me. Hang on. Oh, wait a minute. I'm being reminded that Mars and Uranus are in Taurus. Taurus is steadfast and loyal and does not like to change. You cannot push them. It's an energy that says, I just want to be creative. I'm loyal. I want to help my friends. And what is that? I don't understand what that is. I'm not signing that. I'm not agreeing to that. I don't know what that is. Let me read about it. Let me research it. Let me see how it feels. We're talking about vibration, and that is the first place you want to go. If you're feeling upset about something, if you're feeling stubborn about something, if you're feeling like you need a haircut and you just can't stand it anymore, don't go to extremes. This is the card that fell out. Prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. Thank you, Taurus. Thank you, Yasmin. And then this one, upside down. I'll show you right side first. Okay, a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra, but it came out upside down. So that means if you are polarizing, what is that business? What is that? Come on. There we go. If you are polarizing to one side, a Libra energy can be very stubborn, guided by Venus, just like Taurus. So I got two Venus cards here. Venus, the downside of Venus is arrogant, stubborn, refusal to listen, refusal to feel. The upside is compassion, beauty, growth, the earth, nature, using the elements in nature to help us heal. I think this is a very clear message. as I surround myself with all kinds of goodies like malachite, fluorite, citrine, we have Australian jasper, which we designed our house around, also called muakkite. Moldavite, I have to keep it a distance because sometimes I hold on to this thing and my mind is zooming. Kyanite grows next to tourmaline. You know, I utilize nature. Water, showers, fountains. I don't know what this means. Okay. Let me just check in real quick. Come say hello to me. We're talking about Uranus conjunct Mars in Taurus. It will be at 6 degrees. So, if you have any planets in your chart, including the sun and moon, including the north and south nodes at 6 degrees of anything, you will definitely have some eye-opening experiences. Not necessarily negative. Now, the other day, as an entree, plus we're also heading into a Mercury in retrograde. Oh yeah, it's going to get, fill in the blank. So I want you to start thinking about putting a layer of pink light around everything, around the capital, around the world, around every state, around the air, just for people to take. You cannot force people to change, but you can persuade with compassion and ease. You can mitigate the vibration. So if there is, and we're not fighting, we do not fight. Fighting puts up the same vibration and creates opposite energy. Just like I just shuffled it back into the deck, but just like the Libra, Moon in Libra card, upside down, reversed. I don't know where it is. Okay. We're not polarizing. We are harmonizing. That is one of the key words for Venus. Harmonizing. So I want you to look in your life right now and say, what needs harmony? Is it your health, your wealth, your passion, your purpose? Is it how you communicate, how you feel? Everything starts with a vibration and feeling. That's where you're going to start. So when I look at the signs, and I'll start with Aries because, it's a Mars thing. Mars conjunct Uranus in Taurus for Aries sun, rising, and moon takes place in the house of I want to say income, but it's more like incoming. What's coming your way, Aries sun, rising, and moon? What's coming your way? You can create new avenues now of income. Or if you're retired, new possibilities for collaboration. Or because we're in a retrograde, let's add that to the mix, it's about bringing up the past and saying, what thing back there is coming up now that reflects in my finances, in my self-worth? Because if it's positive, let me just revisit it. If it's not positive, I need to release it. All right. I wasn't planning on adding the Mercury in retrograde, but I guess now, apparently I am. Okay. Let me just Okay, I'm looking at January 14th, and I'm going to move my astro calendar forward to the 19th. Come on, here we go. 6, 17, 18, 19. And we go retrograde. I think it's the 30th. But we're in the pre-phase. So what actually happened for me... Oh, and it's in Aquarius, by the way. Mercury retrograde beginning on the 30th of January in Aquarius. So Aquarius is guided by Uranus. So we're having a lot of indication about changing vibration now, bringing up the old vibration, Aries, Sun, Rising, and Moon, and putting it into the terms of this, I need to retire from that. I need to not have that attachment to that money source anymore. It's not going to work for me. Or I need to let go of the part of me that says I'm not valued enough, or I need to value myself more. Kate says, hey, Elaine, baby Brooks was born early 1/11, not on the 21st. Hoorah! 1/11? Woo! A thinker. A motivator. Congratulations, Grandma. Okay, Taurus, Sun, Rising, and Moon. Oh, honey. What's your motivation? When do you get stuck? When do you feel frustrated? And what do you do about it? Because if you are on a higher vibe and a stream of energy that is much more productive and filled with self-love, self-care, and then compassion for others, wow. All you have to do is stand somewhere and vibrate your frequency. You've already created healings abound. If you're getting stuck, and there's no judgment on any of this, and it's not like it's better or worse. If you're getting stuck, Taurus, Sun, Rising, and Moon, then you want to ask yourself, where is your passion? And where do you feel like you have a belief that says, no, I can't. I have to do this before I get that result. Before I get the reward, I got to work really hard. Before that can happen, before I can heal my body, before that childhood trauma that comes up, again, makes me feel sick, thwarted, stubborn, resistant, when all that stuff happens, Taurus, Sun, Rising, and Moon, you want to think of one thing, and not even think of it. Just look around. What gives you absolute joy? What gives you absolute joy? And what metal things in your world right now are not cooperating? So, as I started to say, and I'm a Taurus, my husband's a Taurus rising. And as I started to say last week with the pre-Mercury retrograde shadow phase entering the picture, what happened was my mechanical stuff, I have a plug for my one of my exercise machines. Literally, the piece, the grounding piece that fits into the outlet, it snapped off. So I had to take pliers and pull that out. And then something else that I have, that was screwed in, literally broke in half. So the metal was breaking in my house. Metal things, not horrible, not even inconvenient. Just like, okay, do we have another one of those plugs? My husband said yes. Why? I don't know. It's not something I would be thinking of. But anyway, we had one, so replaced easily. The screw replaced easily. So the things that were breaking in my house felt rigid. So I had to ask myself, what part of me right now is feeling just a wee bit rigid? How can I soften and harmonize? And I did. Meditation, chanting, music. Uranus represents chanting, music, vibration, electrical currents. Mars is metal. So if you get stuck somewhere, Taurus, Sun, Rising, and Moon, I want you to look at what's your motivation and to not step on the gas in the car and go faster to get to your destination, or to not be distracted on the road. Who else? Sagittarius, we're going to talk about that. But I think it's important now, Taurus, Sun, Rising, and Moon, that you take the time to feel. Everybody, take the time to feel. Yes. My scissors are metal. I had to sharpen those too because they were blunt cut. Wasn't working. Metal. So look at the symbolism that's coming up for you, Taurus, Sun, Rising, and Moon. Computer issues, or is it more related to something in you that feels stuck and rigid? Keep that in mind. You have outlets, music, music. Hearing it, playing it, singing it, and then grounding it into the earth, taking hikes with an iPod. Simple things like that can move that energy. Gemini, we're moving into the 12th house for you, and okay, counseling, baby, counseling. Any kind of counseling. Gemini, sun, rising, or moon. That could be NAET, NET. NAET is Numidropod's allergy elimination technique. There are other versions of it as well now. NET is neuro-emotional technique. Alpha biotics, if it's in your area. You can find something, or EFT tapping. That's an energy technique. You don't need to plug anything in. Music. Again, I'm going to come back to music, using astrology. But also Gemini, sun, rising, and moon, really getting in touch with the thought, because all these random details that you think you have to deal with, they stem from one thought. And only you know exactly what that thought is. And it's going to relate a lot to your relationship to divinity. Your relationship to pure conscious love, Gemini, sun, rising, and moon. Your relationship to your inner ability to transmute energy. What it looks like, however, is, I just had a wild dream. Oh my gosh, I was flying to another planet. Or I just had a confrontation with someone I hated when I was 15 years old. So whatever comes up for you in counseling in the dream state, it is affecting your health. So you're going to heal faster the quicker you deal with something. Make sense? Cindy says, oh wow, I feel special. I'm not feeling any of that. I'm a Leo, sun, and rising. Top of the day to you, Miss Milligan. Okay, well, we haven't gotten to Leo yet. And I'm hoping that it still stays high and vibed for you. Okay, so Gemini, I really want to see you moving some energy, not just talk therapy. No, that's not going to change a thing. I had a client once say to me, and he was not a Gemini, has no Gemini in his chart, but he said to me, can I just think about something and have it change? And I said, have you been thinking about it? And he said, yeah, for years. And I go, has anything changed? And he said, no. I said, okay, so you have your answer. If you think about something different, you will create different streams of energy. But if you come up against resistance, Gemini, sun, rising, and moon, you need a treatment. That is burst into song. You know the neuro techniques that I've talked about that are proven. Clap your hands 5 times, jump up and down 5 times, burst into song for 5 seconds. Do any one of those. For 20 seconds on the clock, do nothing. Be present with that feeling and then watch it dissipate and then replace it with something positive in present tense. All right, so you need to start moving your energy in a place that is not future projected so much, but that is present, Gemini, sun, rising, and moon, and that is, okay, I do feel this thing, and I didn't want to think about it because, I don't want to think about it. Okay. Then nothing changes. So as you change your thought frequency, Gemini, sun, rising, and moon, what happens is you change your physical frequency. Then you start attracting different things to you. You'll sleep better. You'll have more profound dreams, and or you will start healing something in your body, and or you will create a portal of energy. So you connect to a starseed, a passed on loved one, an idea that supports. Make sense? Okay, Cancer, sun, rising, and moon. We're looking at building teams right now to build something. We're building teams, Cancer, sun, rising, and moon, to build something. What do you want to build? Is it a business? Is it a product launch? Is it, my sister's a Cancer. She's building a shed. She's now deciding, what kind of people do I need? What size is it? Do I need a permit? What kind of materials? What is this shed for? I think she wants to be in it and have like a private she shed kind of place. So that requires some planning, but it involves a lot of other people. Cancer, Sun, Rising, and Moon, working together with a team. It could be family, especially children, and they can be adult children, of course, or it could be with the children in mind, of supporting them while they are supporting you in some way, shape, or form. So when you think about this, Cancer, Sun, Rising, and Moon, team building comes with communication. And communication means listening as much as it does speaking. So this is where your beliefs will get challenged, because we are beginning a new moon in Capricorn, and that is in your partnership sector. So you're thinking, I need to do this for me, whatever it is. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And then a partner does something without communicating with you. And then you suddenly go, hey, why didn't you talk to me? That doesn't sit right with me. But are you doing the same thing? Question mark. And it's not right or wrong, good or bad. It's just, how can I now be in partnerships, not so much romantic partnerships, but that is an underlying motivator for you because of the new moon in Capricorn. But how can I be in partnerships and also feel supported while the team is supporting my dream equally? So some of you might be going back to school and thinking, I have to be on Zoom, or I know someone who's a Cancer rising in school, but the school is outdoors because it's deals with horticulture. And so several days a week, weather permitting, they are outside and can commune outside. So it's a whole different thing instead of being on Zoom and isolated, or some kind of, technological mediator. But now it's interacting again with people like this. So Cancer is sometimes feeling, a Cancer said to me when the pandemic started and people started wearing masks, I kind of like it. I put on my sunglasses, I have my mask. I feel like I'm safe, hidden, protected. So Cancer, I want you to think about the partnerships that you have right now and who you'd like to invite into your world and why. Because that's the underlying motivational energy. Remember, we don't want arguments. We don't want this feeling of frustration like, I got to do everything in this partnership. Then it's not working. Then you have to find a new way, and that is through communication, to express your needs at the same time allowing support to come your way. You can't do it all. Although if you're a Cancer-Taurus mix, you think you can. All right. I hope that helps. Leo, Sun, Rising, and Moon. All right. This is all about a career push for you. And depending on the players in your world, it may just be a life direction push, not a career thing specifically. But is there competition? Are you at odds with anyone? And if you work with a partner who is also a spouse, a relative, a dear friend, you have to come to terms and set up some very clear boundaries around what kind of work you want to be doing and what you can delegate. And how does that work in the partnership? So Leo, Sun, Rising, and Moon, this redirection of your career or life direction, where you're headed, it could be retirement. But if you're someone on the brink of saying, I really want to give back to the community, I want to work with people, how can I do this thing? If you put the thought out repeatedly from here and here, how can I do this thing? I'd like to reach a bigger audience. I'd like to find a different way, a different vehicle for my business or my industry. How can you then be part of what the community needs? Well, instead of thinking, I know what I want to give them, how about asking them what they need? What do you need? What do my people need? Do a survey. And if it's not an actual verbal survey, it's one for business, and then it's, SurveyMonkey is one of the things that does it, or Constant Contact, I think, has a survey. But Leo, sun, rising, and moon, your redirection is big because it comes with the ability to incorporate the things you already know about yourself and the things you're about to learn about yourself. Like, how much recognition do you need or want? And that's okay, either way. How much fame do you want or need? You might be writing books. You might be, I know a Leo who's working with a spouse on the family business, and they don't feel recognized. So how many conversations does it take before you say, I can't do this anymore? I got to go find a new direction. So the Uranus-Mars conjunction in Taurus is really saying to you, what do you value, Leo, sun, rising, and moon? What do you value? Now, it could also deal with a paternal parent. So if you have a dad, a granddad, or you have same-sex household, the more masculine, more proactive parent might need some assistance or guidance, or might want to help you and mentor you and bring you into a new industry. So Leo, sun, rising, and moon, that career push or that direction might entail a deep thought in you, like, I don't like competition. I don't want to compete with anybody. But yet someone's voice is louder. Someone's words are louder. Someone's actions are louder. Someone's money is bigger, sounds louder. So you start looking at the extremes in your life and where you might be headed. Now, if you have all that you need and don't feel the need to do anything else with your life, then this information is pointless for you. But if you're ready to move into a new direction and thinking, what do I have in my world that I have inherited from my masculine parent, whether they were present or absent? What am I emulating right now that no longer serves me? That's where you want to go. Leo, sun, rising, and moon. Hope this is helping. Making sense? Okay, let's move on. Virgo. Okay, Virgo, this is all about, legality and also training, education and training, teaching and or learning or both. And so the legalities can come with, again, if you've been in litigation or you want to end a contract with someone and they are disputing, they say, no, read the fine print, you don't get your money back. And you say, but look at what just happened in the world and there was no way I could have utilized that service. So there's a dispute happening. You want to think it through before you go to the place of victim. Before you think, why would they do this? Can't they? Before all the details, swallow you. You want to think about, if I were having the absolute best perfect day of my life, how would this look? How would this work out? In a perfect world, they would. In a perfect world, I would. So Virgo, sun, rising, and moon, when we look at contracts, I want to also look at what is foreign to you. Now, it could be a language, like, oh, you just published a book and they want to promote it in France and you have to find a translator, or it's, if you're self-publishing or you're translating it from a written manuscript to digital and it's got to go to Kindle and there's a certain format and, so that's a new language. So Virgo, sun, rising, and moon, you're also thinking about how to reach your clients via technology. Do you need to build an audience online? How do you do that? Do you use a platform like social media? Do you use Instagram or YouTube, or do you go to specialized sites just for your industry? And then it's a download of all that new information. Streams of energy are flowing now toward education, whether you're learning something new. And because of the Mars conjunct in Uranus, I'm saying for a lot of you, if you're not in the, oh, they did that to me and I have to protect myself and I need an attorney and that happens. Always protect yourself, but don't think fight. Think resolution and harmony. And then if you're in a position where I need to understand what Elaine is talking about, then it's listen to my videos. I've got a lot of videos. If you're not familiar with the metaphysical language, because the house that this happens in, the ninth house, it is about higher vibration, higher education, higher, not just going back to school and getting a degree or a PhD. It's that too. Virgo, sun, rising, and moon. But it can be, how do I utilize what I know? I want to be a judge now. I could be a judge. I could judge a competition because I've had so much experience in that. How do I do that? So there's a learning curve involved in anything you want to do now, and a teaching curve. What kind of audience are you attracting? What kind of clientele are you bringing in? What kind of job do you really want to have? What kind of skills gets you to that job? Virgo, sun, rising, and moon. Ultimately, the vibration is upgrading your awareness. I hope that helps. Okay, Libra, sun, rising, and moon. We are organizing many avenues of investments, and you're trying to direct everybody's flow. So you may be making a lot of money, or making very little money, or making no money, and you're looking at, how do I get my current investments to work for me? And that might take some extra research. That might, especially now with the new moon in Capricorn, we're looking at how you can, Libra, sun, rising, and moon, how you can move a chunk of money from here and put it over here. But also understanding regulations, understanding how the cloud works, understanding what rights you give up if you put your data or money somewhere electronically. Now, because Uranus is involved, I'm going to say, Libra, sun, rising, and moon, if any of you are getting involved in Bitcoin, we are entering a Uranus guided Aquarius, Mercury in retrograde. Please, please, please hang on to your cash, real hand cash. Because if you lose power while you're making a transfer in Bitcoin, that money's gone. Bye-bye. Into the ethers. Let it go, let it go. That's going to be a hard one. So this also deals with your sexual energy and your joint ventures and who you are partnering with. And that is, it could be a spouse, it could be someone you live with, and they, pay half the bills, or they're not paying a lot of bills and you need them to step up, or you're not paying any bills and you're thinking, oh, I could now take some money that I had here, I could take the interest from it and I can invest it over here and, work that way. So there's a lot of motion around money, and it feels like for some of you, Libra, sun, rising, and moon, your spouse has gone through an extreme or is about to go through an extreme. They're either retiring, got laid off, no more money, or they just got a new job, bringing in lots of cash. So, or an investment that you have, Libra, sun, rising, and moon, is suddenly gonna, like you're on the computer once a week and you're like, oh, I should just check that fund that I forgot to look at 2 months ago. And you say, oh my God, I just made $7,000. What do I do with that money? Well, maybe right now you get some really good advice and you leave it. Just leave it right now and let it grow. And you can also be changing insurance, car insurance, health insurance, seeing what the new plans are, what they involve, life insurance, what does that mean to you? So Libra, sun, rising, and moon, this is all about organizing your flow of estate planning, getting a living trust, because a will, you have to go through probate, or perhaps someone in your family says, I've got you in my will, but if I go, I don't have a trust, you're going to have to go through probate. So you might want to have conversations around that, on what to do with your money, how to do it, when to do it, and to really start trusting the higher self, because the higher self is all in you, but it's also out there pulling in information for you. And if you're too narrow focused, Libra, sun, rising, and moon, and you don't want to listen, you're not going to hear it. So I want you to hear it. This could be a really great time of finding how to eliminate debt, up your credit. And one easy way is to take out a loan in your name. And you pay yourself. And it's automatic. And as you pay, ask your bank, and as you pay yourself every month within 12 months, it's consistent. And it doesn't even have to be a lot of money, $100, $200. And then it will raise your credit score. Think about that. Okay, Scorpio, we are going to have some interesting times ahead, Scorpio, Sun, Rising, and Moon. Is this making sense, folks? Give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're here. Okay, Scorpio, Sun, Rising, and Moon. Well, okay. If you are absolutely certain that your marriage is over, then you have to acknowledge the fact that it was what it was, and now it is what it is. Now, because the Taurus energy is opposite you, but also very okay, let's just give it one more chance. Let's just try one more time. Let's just go to counseling for the 47th time and see how it works. If you're just starting to question your relationship, and it can be a business partnership, it doesn't have to be a marriage. And you might not have a marriage or a business partner and thinking, I want somebody. Where are they? I'm doing all the right stuff. Where are these people? Don't blame it on anything. There's no fault involved. It's just, are you sure you're ready and willing to attract? Because you have to go back in time. Remember back in time? Yeah, you said to yourself, hey, I'm not doing that again. So now, of course, you're not going to be doing that again. Remember, 95% of your world is directed from your unconscious state, and that involves a lot of amygdala and reptilian fear. So the 5% conscious is saying, I'm meditating, I'm writing out, a vision, I'm doing vision boards, I'm envisioning the kind of person I want into my life, a business partner, a marital partner, high-end clients, even fans. I'm envisioning that, and I got a trickle. So that is evidence that you're doing all the right stuff. But it's not about right or wrong, Scorpio, Sun, Rising, and Moon. It's about where will you not allow yourself into me you see? Intimacy. Where? Now, if you're with someone and you're just starting to think, I think we're done. My business partner, this client, my spouse, I think we might be done. Some people are able to come to that middle meeting ground and say, we work really well together, but living together? So maybe we could just downgrade into working together. Or I'm done. It's done. Now, I would typically say to someone like a Gemini, I'm done. It's not done. To give yourself a break. But Scorpio, really, if you feel like you have exhausted all the avenues for this relationship to flourish and thrive, then you're done. Now it needs to be amicable and fair and just. Remember, we're harmonizing. Now, for some, Scorpio, the sudden attraction, okay, we're in a pre-phase of a Mercury in retrograde. So if you attract someone suddenly, and because you've got Uranus now in your 7th house, this is a general chart, so this is not specific to your chart, but, we're close. We're pretty darn close. If you attract someone and suddenly they're like, oh, sparks are flying. Oh my gosh, I just met you. And, 2 weeks later they propose. And you're like, I don't know, it feels so exciting. I really want to do this. Just be aware that because it is a sudden thing, just as quickly as it comes, the fire can die just as quickly, especially since Mercury is retrograde. So between now, if you're listening to this in a replay, and you can catch all my replays on my Facebook page, and I'll post one link to take you to all the replays. Or if you're on YouTube watching this in a replay, And we're already into March of 2021. That phase has initially passed, but you still have Uranus in Taurus in your 7th house, Scorpio, rising especially, and Scorpio sun, but in the general charts. So you're gonna want to like jump into bed, literally or figuratively, with a business partner, and a business partner can mean not, contractually forever. It can be one person you sit down with and you both have some very similar ideas and you vibe really well and it feels exciting and you just want to jump off the bridge together, holding hands. You got bungee cords attached to each other, but then you realize it's not attached to the bridge. And so you go back and forth, and then you splat into the water and you go, I don't know, was this what I thought it was? I don't know. So you want to just be aware to gather information. How do I feel? Let me stop my impulses and be a little bit more aware. Okay, Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon. Now, some of you, again, are headed for divorce, but it doesn't mean you hear this and you go, oh my God, but I'm so happy. It doesn't mean you're getting divorced. You have to see how this applies to you specifically in a general way, because this is a general chart reading. So, but the divorce could be, I'm divorcing from certain elements that I have been persistent in a relationship. They don't work anymore, right? We're coming back to the intimacy. So how would you like to be in a relationship now? If you're in counseling, which I highly recommend, and it's still not working, then you take a break and say, okay, let me approach it from the opposite. If I were doing the opposite, or if I were doing all the things my spouse or my business partner said I need to be doing, how would I feel? Everybody, it's coming back to feelings. And so you're going to come to a really great place of knowing how to invest your time, energy, and money in a business partnership, and or your time and energy in to a personal marital type relationship. Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon. Sagittarius, sun, rising, and moon. Okay. I just need a drink right now. Is this helping? Okay. Twyla says, I missed Aries. Are you doing a replay? Yes, always. I will post a link to all my replays and then pass it on. Let other people know. Sagittarius, sun, rising, and moon. Number 1, numero uno. Do not speed on the road. Are we listening? Saggy baby. Do not speed on the road. There is no speeding allowed. There is paying attention. Now, if by some chance, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm just saying if by some chance you park your car at the supermarket and your intuition says, oh, park over there. And you're like, nah, I don't want to walk that far. And then you park as close as you can up front and you get back and you see a long scratch on the side of your car. And you're like, what? I want you to start paying attention to your intuition when it comes to your health, when it comes to driving, when it comes to flying. And if your gut says, and there's an open seating on the plane or the train or wherever you are, and you're saying, that's the best seat because, whatever. What's the motivation behind that? Is it fear? Is it greed? Is it arrogance? No judgments. You might be saying, I'm going to get to that door. I'm going to sit by that door because as soon as the door's open, I'm going to fly out of here and then I'm going to get to the thing. So it's like if you're putting yourself first in the it's me or nothing, it's me versus everything phase, you're going to miss out on some really exciting things of collaboration. Trust your gut. If suddenly you're guided to sit next to someone on an airplane and you're thinking, I'm not traveling. Well, okay, that's another conversation we can have about fear. But if you are traveling, if you are going anywhere, to a store, to a coffee shop, to the doctor's office, to get your eyes checked, anything medical associated with your body, your well-being, the psychologist, the body worker, anything, the psychic reader, and there's people, and your gut instinct says, I need to go sit next to that lady with the red scarf. Do it. Because what's going to come through is a whole different thing than you were expecting. And I'm talking about, oh my gosh, I was asking this question in my head for 6 weeks, and then I sit next to this lady and I see her reading a book and I go, oh, blah, blah, blah. And she says, oh yeah. And you're like, oh my gosh, I was looking for that answer and you just gave it to me. Now, where a lot of you might want to go is, I'm not touching that. Not unless it's sprayed with alcohol 15 times. Or I have to be really careful because I'm older. Or, I had asthma 6 years ago or bronchitis. I have to be really careful. Okay, be careful. But not with fear. We're not being careful with fear because there's no such, that's like an oxymoron. I'm going to be careful fearfully. Now, we're going to start trusting our intuition, Sag, Sun, Rising, and Moon, because your health and your healing solutions come through an awareness of your intuition right now. And upgrading technology, what is the stuff with that? Upgrading technology, upgrading your ability to understand how waves and frequencies and particles work. So that if you're thinking something, Sag, Sun, Rising, and Moon, and you're feeling something different, bottom line, the feeling's going to win. Because then the thoughts create frustration, stubbornness, resistance. You will be assimilated. Does that make sense? Sag, Sun, Rising, and Moon. You want to move toward inspired creations at work with your body. You're suddenly in the kitchen thinking, oh my God, I had so many cookies at Christmas. I think I'm gonna vomit if I see another cookie. And then you say to yourself, I really want to do something healthier. You put out a thought form. I really trust that I can do something healthier easily. You put out another thought form that correlates to the first one. Then you put out another one. And it's, I think I could do this. I know I can do this. I am doing this. Present tense. Then suddenly you see on your computer, you get an ad for something. Hey, go keto. It's not that hard. Or you're like, I want to give that recipe a try. And then you do. And you go, oh, who knew? So what can come to you health-wise, Sagittarius, Sun, Rising, and Moon, is a solution, but not in the typical way you've gone about getting solutions. Does that make sense? I want you to really trust your intuition and guidance. And if you're guided to a room with no windows and doors, then it's the fear you're going to be facing. And that's brilliant. That's exactly where you need to go. Because you are more powerful than the fear. Why? Sag, Sun, Rising, Moon, and everyone. Because you created the fear. Little secret unveiled right here. Here. All right, inspired creation, healing solutions for yourself and your clients. Maybe you're totally healthy and you're thinking, you're an aesthetician, you're a cosmetologist, you're a hairdresser, you're a physical therapist, you're a body worker, you're a doctor, you're a dentist. And you're thinking, I want to help my patients have less fear. Let me do some research. Let me really get in there and see what are the latest numbers and stats and what's been proven. Yes, science, we need proven things. But also in metaphysics, what feels good. So you may incorporate into your practice this scientifically proven method, but then also some breathing techniques. So we're going to bridge the gap, Sag, Sun, Rising, and Moon, between what is proven, what you believe is true, even if it's not, and your stubbornness around it, and the fear that promotes it, and your open-mindedness to harmonize metaphysics with science. Yay! Okay, we're moving on. Capricorn. Okay, not only do you have Pluto still in your sign, it's okay. It's okay. You have Sagittarius. No, what am I saying? The North Node. Wait a minute. No, South Node is in Sagittarius. North Node is in Capricorn. I'm getting jumbled. Okay. Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon. You have Gemini North Node. You're moving to this place of also inspired solution, but you're letting go of something huge right now. Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon. And you can get so creative with it. All right. You can take your pain, like yesterday. I had to have a small medical procedure and nothing traumatic. And actually it's IVs, vitamin C IV. And the vitamin C IV can enter the body one way and leave the body another way. So it can leave you feeling like you're hypoglycemic, like you're having, and I don't eat sugar. So I was like, why am I so sad? Why am I so depressed? And then the doctor said, okay, this could happen. So you need to up your trace minerals. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I didn't give way to anything. I went into the kitchen, had a good cry. And then I thought, what am I going to bake? Keto. So I made a keto pound cake and I made lamb stew. And I said to my husband, in the middle of some tears, I said, I'm turning my sadness into joy. We're going to feast tonight. And he laughed, and it was delicious. So knowing that something is moving through you, Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon, this is all about finding the literal creative solution. Sing, dance, play, games, music, laughter, comedy. Finding something that, playing with kids, if you've got kids in your family, if you have a kid, and really moving through that energy with a creative solution. So mine for me yesterday was baking. Now in Taurus, I am a Taurus, it's cooking, it's food, it's feeling nurtured, it's feeling grounded, it's feeling supported. Now here's something that I also manifested yesterday. So when I went into the kitchen to cook, because I was feeling a little sad because I knew it was a reaction, which I knew I wasn't sad going in, but I was sad coming out. I was like, what just happened to me? Okay, that was the reaction my body had to a very high dosage of vitamin C, which, by the way, my doctor's office has seen 0 COVID. But there are people, and I'm one of them, who go in for vitamin C IVs, vitamin C IVs at a higher dose with minerals, and we're all good. No COVID in that doctor's office since day one. But getting back to it, I had my phone on the dining room table. I walked into the kitchen. Dining room table is maybe 5 feet away from the beginning of the kitchen. And I was thinking, I could really use a friend right now. And my phone, FaceTime, rang. And I went, oh, hey. And I swiped it up, and there's my friend. And I'm looking up at my friend's face. And I'm like, hi, how are you? Great, I'm driving, she says. And I said, oh, okay, I'm cooking. She goes, how are you? It's great to see you. And glancing down, I go, I'm great. And then I said, it's great to see you. I love you. And then the phone cut out. So later on, my friend texted me, who lived on the other side of the country, and said to me, so I'm so sorry that something happened with the phone. Did you want to talk about something? And I said, I didn't call you. And she said, I didn't call you. She goes, oh my God, that's so weird. And I go, not weird. Lately, I've been manifesting like that. So Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon, and everyone, you can also manifest like that if you are so clear, so present on how you are feeling. Feeling is the key. And then also moving that energy to, where do I want to direct my passions, especially Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon? Where am I directing my passions? And sometimes it's service to others, but not at the sake of the self, right? So if you've got kids or grandkids or, someone with kids and you're counseling them, you're helping them, okay, great, but you also boundary. If it's playtime and, you're watching movies, my husband and I had great dessert last night, keto pound cake. Yum. And we're watching The Lord of the Rings again, for like the 27th time. And we only watch like an hour at a time. We get inspired and then we go to bed and read. So Capricorn, and I'm a Capricorn rising. Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon. Think about this, that you could sit down right now and learn how to clean out that clutter in order to organize the creative thoughts, in order to write that book. You can write that book. You can learn how to play that piano. You can, hum a few bars. You can start baking or cooking or making keto candies. You could start relaxing in your body. Pluto's there. You could start relaxing in your body so that when you have romance, it's sacred. It's not just a one-off. It's Now, also Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon. This is about really looking at the partnership that you have in a romantic situation with someone and saying, okay, we need to make a few changes. When you do that and then you say the opposite, that doesn't work for me. When you ignore me, when you confront me, when you demand of me, when you kowtow to those people, and I know you have a backbone, that doesn't work for me. So Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon, it is about really harmonizing your romantic relationship right now. It's new moon in Capricorn. Even though we're heading into a Mercury in retrograde, if you're already in a relationship, you can go so deep right now. You can get really into the intimate places through creative means. Do a vision board together, watch film together, watch comedy together, then stop and talk about what you just experienced. My husband and I forever, our favorite time, among all the other favorite times we have, is when we sit together in bed with our blankies, and our pillows, and we're reading. And my husband will laugh, and I'll look over and go, what are you reading? And he'll tell me. And I go, well, what was the sentence? And he tells me, and we laugh. And then I'm reading, and I go, oh my gosh. And he'll say, don't tell me, because he doesn't like to know spoilers. But it's like, do I need to read that book? And I go, yes, you need to read this book. The writing is superb. So Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon, now is when you can really get into a place of comfortable reception. And allowing yourself, and if it's a creative venture with someone else and you've got your guard up, you have to be really aware that you're, especially Capricorn moon sign with Pluto there, you're thinking you're going to be taken advantage of. You're thinking of betrayal. You're thinking, no, I'm going to protect my assets. Okay, that is smart. It's business. But again, like I said to some of the other signs, what's the motivation? Is it fear? Is it, no, you can't take my stuff? Because that's 3D mentality. Does that make sense? We don't want to go there. We want to be really fluid with our creations, really open, really not acting from places of guilt. No, I really am not comfortable driving you to the airport, but I'll buy you, the gas for your tank. That's guilt. No motivation is worth it if it's guilt related. All right, Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon. Hope that helps. Aquarius. All right, it's all about home, baby. All about being at home, want to go home, want to feel the home, want to go out to the stars, reach for the home, bring it in, bring it home. Your four walls, clean it up. Start looking ahead to where else you'd like to go, where else you'd like to live, what else you'd like to do for yourself. This is, now you may be looking at your inner being, that's the bottom line, but you're also looking at a maternal connection. So are you emulating mom or the maternal parent, if there is a same sex or single family household? Are you emulating the absence of nurturing? Are you emulating the good parts that really supported you? And now you're developing the next level of yourself, Aquarius, Sun, Rising, and Moon. That's brilliant. I love that. Utilize music. Your environment is so key. With Taurus, Mars and Taurus and Uranus, there might be construction in and around your home. There might be some things that need fixing. There might be some things that you don't agree with your neighbors or your roommates or somebody in the next building. You hear them playing music at 11 o'clock at night. You're trying to get to sleep. So what do? Well, focus on what you can take care of for yourself, Aquarius, Sun, Rising, Moon, and then maybe a pleasant note. Hi, just wondering, I hear the music. Is it possible to lower the volume? Communication is going to be key, not sudden outbursts of frustration or those people, because then you create a separation. So Aquarius, Sun, Rising, and Moon, this applies to the maternal energy as well, but really nurturing yourself, taking over what, if mom never gave to you, now it's learning how to self-care. If mom gave to you, but mom is not with you because they've left the planet or they live in a different country or in a different state, and you can still connect with them, but you really feel like, oh, I'm missing something. I'm missing a part of myself that feels like I'm not at home. All right, that's when we get to the core stuff, Aquarius, Sun, Rising, and Moon. And that is with Mars and Uranus there, because Uranus is in Taurus. For you, Aquarius, it is saying, what can you do right now to set up an environment. And this is epigenetics. Look it up if you hadn't heard me talk about it before. Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about it, a whole slew of people. Epigenetics, your environment, Tony Robbins, your environment is going to help you feel rooted and grounded so that you can flourish, so that you can have those aha moments, so that you can sleep. Not like a baby. What baby sleeps through the night? No, you don't want to sleep like a baby. People say that all the time. Oh, I slept like a baby. Really? You were up peeing every 2 hours wanting to feed? I don't think so. So you want to be able to sleep in a way that says, I'm comfortable in my own skin, Aquarius, sun, rising, and moon. So if there are things going on at home and you're angsty with it, you're feeling guilt-ridden, you're feeling frustrated because of it, then what I want you to do is look at the environment that you can create at home. And then start pulling it in through meditation. Absolutely. Music and meditation and chanting. Comedy videos, not staying up all night watching, TV, because the blue light can really affect you. But doing it in very healthy ways, utilizing Zoom to connect with people, or the phone to connect with, typing into Google, my higher angelic self, and see what comes up, because you're manifesting. You're pulling it in. You're downloading new transmissions, and it can feel very wobbly. Aquarius, sun, rising, and moon. All right, my heart is with you. Be present in as many moments as possible. Listen for the silence. The answers are there. Pisces, last but not least, we are looking at renovations, revolutionizing the mind, the thought, the beliefs, the pattern that keep you stuck. You don't always want to go out and venture into something new without, what are they doing? How do they do it? What is I'm going to just stick right here for the tried and true for a little while, Pisces, sun, rising, and moon. But really, you have the ability to move out into the world right now by going inward, by revolutionizing your thoughts, by asking yourself, do I really believe that? I just said that. They just said that. Do I really believe that? And if you don't, then you don't. But if you do want to believe something that you don't currently believe, ask yourself, how does it make me feel? And then you might say, oh my gosh, I feel so alive. And then you say, but there's no actual clinical proof, or nobody else is talking about it. That's when you negate yourself, Pisces, sun, rising, and moon, and move to that place of, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if this is right for me. I don't know if this is wrong for me. I don't know what I should do. This is about empowerment now, Pisces, sun, rising, and moon, and really trusting the thoughts that you download. Because with Uranus transiting your third house with conjunct, and it's conjunct the moon as well, all in Taurus, it's about stabilizing your beliefs, but only the ones that work for you. Only the ones that produce that feeling of, like you've heard me say before, and not from a religious standpoint whatsoever, or a commercial standpoint whatsoever. But Christmas always works out for me, and every day is Christmas. Christmas always works out for me, and every day is Christmas. You can replace the word Christmas with anything you like, anybody, any sun, rising, or moon. Life always works out for me, and every day I love my life. Conflicts are always resolved for me, easily, effortlessly. I love my life. So think about Pisces, sun, rising, and moon. Think about the through thoughts. What are you thinking? And follow them through to the end. Like, oh, if I do that, something bad's going to happen. Really? What's going to happen next? Then what's going to happen? 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 And keep going until you get to the end and you're like, then I die. And like, then what's going to happen? Do you understand what I'm saying? Pisces, sun, rising, and moon, now is a time to really come up with something that's yours. Imagine every color, purple and magenta in the world. And you have a pen for every shade of color, Pisces, sun, rising, and moon. And you start to make what is that called? Pointillation, the picture with little dots of every single color that you love. And you make it yours. And then suddenly you stand back and you look at it and you say, oh my gosh, I love that. That's me. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm not harming myself or anyone else. It's me. I would caution, though, if you are wrapped up in fear, if you are easily swayed by the negative thoughts or negative concepts that some people have, turn off the TV, turn off the news. It hasn't changed in 2,000 years or more. But go back and start researching for yourself. If I really believe this, I have to experiment with it. Pisces says, if I really believe that my needs are met, I'm going to do something small. Like I trust that the pen that I need will come to me. I trust that, I ran out of pencils and pens, but I trust that I'll get exactly what I need. I trust with all my heart and soul. Even in the back of your head, there's a little, I don't know about that. We're going to move that cynicism. We're going to turn the volume down on the cynicism. And we're going to go to a place of, I trust that I am here for a bigger purpose than I ever thought. And that is to be me ultimately. That's kind of scary. What do I do now? Do I paint a picture, write a book, start a business? What can I do? You can do anything. What makes me feel empowered? Feel is the key word. Feel is the key word. What helps me to sober up? Because a lot of Pisces, Sun, Rising, and Moon are in that place of, now, I would never call anyone delusional, except people who throw bombs or encourage people to throw bombs. They are delusional. But if you're listening to this program, you're already in a place of compassion. And you're saying to yourself, if you're Pisces, Sun, Rising, and Moon, you're saying, I really want to do something big. I want to be heard. I want to do something big. I want to write that book. I want to, stand on stage. I want to make a difference. I want to contribute. Then use that passion all along the way in little things like, I'm making a contribution as I clean off my desk and clean out my closet. I am making a contribution as I bake bread for my neighbor who was sick and couldn't get out of bed. I'm making a contribution as I project a thought of happiness, love, and harmony instead of doom and gloom and cynicism. My contribution is my vibration. That is for everyone, especially now. The thoughts that you create, Pisces, Sun, Rising, and Moon, what are you putting into the world? Because it lands in my living room, so okay, no pressure. All right, folks. Whew. I was trying to get there in under an hour. Didn't happen. Okay, I'll be back next Thursday, and we're going to talk more and more and more about Uranus, conjunct Mars in Taurus, and some other fun things that are happening. But remember, put your mojo into the world. Love, compassion, peace, harmony. In as many moments as possible for self and others. And you will help to mitigate what others are trying to build and blast. This is a no-fist situation. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being. As always, I wish you peace, and I will see you again. And remember to like, share, subscribe. See you next week.